Every car person has their list of dream cars. For a Formula One racing fan, an open wheel race car is near the top of that list. A car so expensive and impractical, you may never even see one outside of a racetrack. So when one pops up on Facebook Marketplace, if you're the dumb idea guy, you'll do whatever it takes to own it. But I may have just made the worst financial mistake of my life. I'll give you guys a full tour of my new car in just a second, but my best buddy Gavin's gonna be here any minute. He has no idea about this, so we're gonna hide it in the garage and surprise him.
Anytime I show up and the camera's already out. Oh boy, how nervous do I need to be?
I think you're gonna like it a lot, but there is gonna be some work involved. This one is possibly my dumbest idea yet, I will say.
Rip the Band-Aid off. What are we dealing with, dude? No, you didn't. What is this, dude?
We have an F1 car now.
I need to know all the things. What, why, how?
I traded the Audi for it straight up.
What? Oh my God. That's the most upsetting part of this whole thing. What? You traded the Audi for this? In what world? Does this... What? What is this then? So you traded the Audi for something. What is the something?
It is an F2000, so it's a legit race car, a legit adjacent.
Changed from legit to legit adjacent real fast.
I'll be honest, the more you look at it, the worse it gets. I drove down to Mexico this weekend to go pick it up, and you can kind of tell.
The steering sort of works, so that's good. This is insane, dude. What were you thinking?
We're YouTubers. This is what we do. I'm the dumb idea guy.
You're gonna go in timeout. This is unacceptable. Let's pretend I'm insane and I finally have a decent car for the first time in, I don't know, 6-7 years. So I decide to drive all the way to Mexico and pick up one of the worst looking vehicles I've ever seen. What is the goal with said worst vehicle I've ever seen?
Make her pretty.
So does this currently turn on?
It did turn on when I picked it up, yes. I have not tried to start it today, but it should, in theory, run. It does not drive.
Okay. Do we know why it doesn't drive?
We're really hoping it's just a clutch line.
Oh no! Oh my God.
You have to have a vision. Once we get the bodywork cleaned up, we'll get her painted, it's going to look gorgeous. And then we'll do our usual and destroy it for views.
Nice. This is close to taking the cake. I'm more nervous about this than cutting the Porsche in half. We knew all the problems the Porsche had.
So here's part of our clutch problem. It also may have a brake problem.
But it looks so well kept.
We can pull the fiberglass body off and take a look at the bones of this thing.
What kind of motor is this?
So it's a Ford Z-Tech 2-liter dual overhead cam.
That's some real F1 stuff right there. Oh.
It's a 4-speed manual transmission.
What is this adapter? That's crazy.
It is an interesting adapter.
Like this is the bell housing.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It has the O2 sensor delete. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I do want to at least hear this thing turn on. Still my nerves, and at least prove to me this will at least turn over.
We just go like this? Nope. Well, that's what he did.
Was the battery dead probably?
I don't know.
Battery's still connected.
Oh, we might have to... Maybe the switch is off? Nope.
Do I need to go put the charger on the battery or something?
It's a brand new battery.
It looks fine. The dumbest thing that's ever happened on this channel. And we've really tried to take the cake every time. And we've been doing this since we were kids.
I swear that's all he did is just touch those two wires together. But maybe there's a kill switch somewhere. Mika, quiet on the set! There's some stuff cut out of the ECU.
Yeah, we're only at 8 volts. So there's definitely a draw. Somehow, you'd be shocked.
It is going to be some work, but when it's done, driving an F1 car on a racetrack is going... I couldn't imagine anything funner.
See, the problem is a racetrack is going to be fun, but we're going to get bored of a racetrack real fast. And that's the problem, is we're going to start taking this places it shouldn't be. And then it's just going to break all the time like everything else.
Yeah, but that's what these guys want to see.
What you did is you bought a Temu F1 car. You just can't help yourself.
That's the budget we're working with here. I mean, I never thought I'd own any F1 car, and if it's got to be a Mexico Temu one, so be it.
First things first, we got to at least figure out why it won't start.
We got fuel pump.
Let's see if it'll turn on.
She runs! Woohoo!
We at least got it to turn on. That seems like a win. This is going to be so much work, Dylan.
That's what we do here.
Look at this seat. I think as a general rule, aim to not crash this. You hit something in this and
Yeah,
you're dead.
yeah.
We got it to turn on. Now we just have to fix all of it.
When you guys see the vision of what we have planned for this thing, you guys are going to be with me. I know it.
You guys better like and subscribe. We are earning our dollars today, man. What have you done?
I bought the worst F1 car on Marketplace.
Let's get into it. Oh my god. I do feel so much better that we at least got this thing to turn over and
Yeah.
it runs. Sounds like all 4 cylinders are hitting. I am looking at 2 rather decent holes in our frame. Those are holes. That's not clean metal. That's just open air. We'll have to do a top to bottom, bolt by bolt, make sure everything is connected, everything's welded. I love that the spoiler is just attached to our transmission. That's what you want, is as you go faster, your transmission starts experiencing flex. I can already see Dylan's wheels turning. I put Temu parts on my F1 car.
I do want this one to be nice. I'm going to try and stay off Temu for this one.
That's what he says about every project. And then I roll through the gate and it's more Temu. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's get after it. I went around and made little markers so that we can't forget anything. Like once we fix it, we pull the tape and then we don't do anything twice and hopefully we don't forget anything.
Hey, that's pretty smart.
Yeah!
I don't see any marks on our PVC, so this is going to stay. The PVC intake will stay for now.
For now. So my understanding is we're just trying to get this thing running, proof of concept. So to drive it around a little bit and just see it works, this will work. Long term, has to go. Has to go. We've got to get our battery mounted. Right now it's just kind of loose. Got to just check our coolant levels, check oil. These radiators are destroyed. Again, for proof of concept, we can drive it around a little bit. Fine. Will I let Dylan take this anywhere near a racetrack? No. Not until we get actual radiators that are going to cool something.
The problem is going to be figuring out what vehicle these were from and getting them. I don't know how you figure that out. We know the auto parts stores around here, they're going to say year, make, and model, and it's a unknown year Formula race car. Good luck.
We've got to fix our starter because right now you just kind of jiggle a bunch of wires and hope for the best. We have to do so much around this area that I didn't even mess with labeling it because that just needs a bunch. As far as the frame up front, I didn't see any issues. I want to crawl underneath and triple check, but I didn't see any real major issues, which is sick. Over here we have 2 more stickers. We need to mount this ECU. You can see the sick damage it's been doing to this. It's all the way cracked through some of these fins. Hopefully it's not just gonna spew coolant. We just need to make sure this thing will drive, turn, function, stop. And then in the next video, we'll make this thing super sick and super nice. But right now we're just trying to see how much work does it take to get the crappiest, cheapest F1 car ever to run.
The steering wheel, we got to tighten the steering
Oh,
wheel.
I never even touched that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not awesome. The problem is this hexagon is slightly bigger than that hexagon. It's a quick release. You can actually see where they shimmed inside of that a lot. Another potentially ill-advised option is I just weld on all of these and just kind of grind it until it fits really tight. Was kind of my thought. Probably should still put some tape on it though. Found another big one, Dylan. Believe it or not, I might have solved the mystery as to why this junky car doesn't have coolant. Hello, My name is Empty Coolant Can. Rah, 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 rah. It's not good. I'm gonna let you get started on that freaking clutch. I'm not envious.
We were able to fish the clutch line through the tube of the chassis, this lower tube right here. That'll attach to the master, which will then go right there. Our slave cylinder is in the very crude transmission to engine adapter thing. Very nice welds on this. Our tube comes out of there, and then we'll just attach it to the new line right here.
It's not great. It's gonna do, but this is not a permanent solution. But this will at least let us test it. All right. So good news, it's not structural.
I've made an interesting discovery that I would like to share with you as well as the viewers. The front suspension is a pushrod cantilever setup, and as you can see there's quite a bit of play, that pushrod. Investigating that play and curious where it came from, it turns out what that suspension is attached to isn't really attached to the chassis. It's all attached to this bar, which kind of moves a lot.
That's basically a leaf spring, and then this is sort of kind of a damper, but it's really just a big old leaf spring.
Maybe there's some Formula Racers in the comments that can let us know what we're working with here, if there's any upgrade paths or things like that.
Just do like a delete with this dumb leaf spring and make an actual mount and just get a coilover.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we're gonna make sure it still runs.
So you said he literally just connected these two?
I believe so. It might be something with this.
Ooh.
Hey, there you go. We do have battery. We have fuel pump. She runs!
Alright, so as long as we can get some sort of a switch going for this, I think we're just 2 screws away from this potentially having a push button start, which would be pretty cool.
This thing is gonna sound so wild, flat out at a racetrack. I cannot wait. This exhaust is insane. 1.5 inch headers to just a wide open pipe. I will point out the exhaust does have a cutout for our axle.
No!
That's a fun one. All right, hooked up the button.
Here goes nothing. Look at that, dude. Push button start.
It's time to fix the steering wheel looseness. We're going 100 miles an hour on a racetrack. I don't want the steering wheel to have wiggle to it. So Gavin's gonna just weld a bunch.
Add weld in there, and basically that'll fill up some of the slack, hopefully. Max, watch out.
Yeah.
We're coming for you. We're basically zero play, but you do have to put the steering wheel on with a hammer now. It can either be convenient or it can be tight. That's why it was loose, so that you can take this on and off nicely.
This is going to be a vehicle for very small people.
Yeah, that is for sure. Let's just see if you can get in with the steering wheel. It looks like you can.
It'll be better if we can remove it.
Yeah.
Holy moly, that is a tight one.
Oh my god, dude.
Man, I probably should have sat in it before I traded my really nice, very comfortable car for it.
Well, I'm a little guy. Why don't I give it a shot? It is tight though. You got a good 6 inches. Oh yeah. This is a much more Gavin-sized vehicle. Though the hips are
Pretty tight.
like, this is wild. This is definitely not for someone 6 foot or above. I can tell you that. Is 5'9" and some change. This is actually about right. The trouble is I'm not that interested in track racing, so we're gonna have to find someone who this fits.
To be honest, we're probably not going to be spending a lot of time on the track with this vehicle.
Now I might be interested. Dude, that's pretty wild. I can't imagine at speed how crazy this feels. Like, there is nothing around at all, and you're gonna be just going so crazy fast.
All right, we have a real test for our Temu tire machine. It's been holding up great so far, but we got to get these dry rotted old crusty tires off of there and get on our new ones.
Look at these! They say Goodyear!
Yeah.
They're not even Temu brand or anything.
They are from usedracingtires.com. They're not sponsored, but a cool site. New tires are like 300, 350. These were 100 each, so we'll give them a shout out.
I've always wanted a set of tires to say Goodyear on the side in this yellow. I'm stoked. Ah,
Oh no.
it's gonna be a bear, dude.
What are you doing?
Keep going. Oh,
There
god
we go.
dang. Look at that. A bit dramatic. Holy
Oh.
smokes. That's violent.
If any of you missed our Temu tire machine video, this was $900. Took about 3 weeks to get delivered, and we've put probably 20 to 30 tires through it, and it's held up. It's been awesome. It's one of the best investments I've ever made for the shop. I couldn't recommend it more.
And when Dylan told me he bought this, I thought to myself, that's a bad idea. And it has proven me wrong at every opportunity.
These ones will be a real test. It's gonna be challenging.
Yeah, that's gonna suck, dude. There it is. Whew. Holy smokes. Let's hope that these used tires are slightly more pliable than this. Oh, man. Usually that's the easy part, and it still sounded scary.
That's a little scary sounding.
More goo. We're gonna take this nice and slow, make sure we don't tear any expensive tires.
Little thingies.
Yep. Thanks to John, who's actually here, we have a way to keep my fingers safe. And I appreciate that, bud.
Yeah, shout out to John. No, these things are a game changer.
Oh, it's best tool. Sweet.
We got the Temu Bead Blaster that actually does a pretty decent job. This is a very skinny tire on a very wide rim. I accidentally, of course, bought the wrong tires, so hopefully this works.
1, 2, 3. Yes. Come on, girly. Hey.
30.
30. God dang, that is a rock solid 30. The Temu tire machine continues to deliver. This was an actually challenging tire, and it handled it no problem.
No problem. While Gavin mounts the rest of the tires, I went ahead and changed the oil. A lot came out, so that's a promising sign. And filled up our freshly repaired coolant reservoir.
So now it's time to bleed the clutch with this hopefully handy Harbor Freight bleeding tool. It's made a little difficult by our slave cylinder being inside the bell housing adapter thing here. So we can't really get to it with a wrench, but we can at least get the tube on it. In theory, we just squeeze this and it sucks the brake fluid through the thing. It creates a little vacuum. All right, we're starting to get some fluid out.
The clutch is bled. Hopefully it works. All we have to do is put the rear wing end plate on, and then it's officially back to being a race car. We might be on the final step before we attempt a test drive.
This is a very ghetto wing. It is basically a door hinge, some rivets, and sheet metal.
It's a little wonky, there's no doubt.
And I did some Googling and nothing was really coming up for this size of wing, so if you guys know where to find like used race car parts, leave a comment.
It's not great, but that's not the point of this video. That's future Gavin's problem. We just need this thing to drive to that place right there, the street, where all the dreams come true.
The wing has been fixed-ish.
After test fitting, we realized the seat did not fit me at all, so
Temporarily, we have some rags.
Let's go ahead and just church this thing up.
upgrading.
Yeah, dude.
Dang. That
There
is
you go,
quite an
bud.
upgrade.
Yeah, now you're not literally sitting on the gas tank. Now there's something flammable between
Yeah,
you and
yes.
the gas tank.
we are about to drive it. But before we do, you guys have to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. 92% of you are not subscribed to our channel.
What?
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh my god.
What are you guys doing? So just hit that subscribe button. We're going to be doing insane stuff with this F1 car. Once you're subscribed, now we can drive this thing.
Let's see if it still turns on. Let's see if our starter button still works.
Did you do the fuel pump?
Uh-oh.
I tried to leave the battery on the charger yesterday and it did not work. Our charger is a piece of junk.
We got fuel pump.
Come on.
Huh. check out our sweet spring-loaded fuel filler thing.
The problem is, yeah, I was afraid of that.
So this fuel filler cap is held together by these little screws, but this one needs to be extra long, and we just don't have it. What are you doing with a welder over here?
Well, we don't have any bolts in the shop that are long enough, so we're gonna make a bolt.
I don't know if that's how that works. What are the odds of this actually working?
I don't see why not. Get your custom Rad Factory bolts at what is our website called?
TheRadFactory.com.
Look at that. It's still not long enough. No, I'm just kidding. Gotcha. See, Dylan, the concept of welding, tried and true. Now let's see if that'll actually hold some fuel or if it just pours everywhere again. This is strong enough to not collapse when we push against that spring, and hopefully this helps us not make a mess.
We don't have the quick fill dialed in yet for the race
All right,
conditions.
You got it? Yep. Hey, this is how they do it in F1, right?
I'm pretty sure.
30-minute pit stops. Yeah. We have no way of knowing how full the gas tank is, which is tough. But we at least got like a half gallon in there, which should be enough for us to rip around a little bit. Thank you, John. Yeah. So we for sure have fuel.
Well, boys, this is a real issue. It fired up perfectly last night, and now that we're ready for the test drive, nothing. We have fresh fuel. The fuel pump is working. We have spark. We're trying to do a compression test, but our compression tester doesn't seem to be fitting it.
It's never a good sign when it's not starting, even with starting fluid. We're gonna keep figuring it out. Only one way forward. Nope. Good Lord, dude. I've never had one of these fight me like this. It's just not starting at all.
This is such a Rad Factory problem. It ran perfectly, like
Multiple
many times. We've never had a problem starting it.
Absolute heartbreaker.
All right, we're about 2 days into our investigation of the crank no start issue on the old F1 car, and I found a possible major breakthrough.
When we checked spark, we only checked this spark plug and opened this one up, and there's a lot of water in there.
There's a chance that that's our issue. There's so much water. Oh, it's all over the camera too.
All right, we got new plugs and wires on there.
Hopefully that's all it was that little bit of water getting in, messing up the electrical, and we can fire this thing up right now. Well, that's a bummer. This
I don't know.
Annoying, dumb problem to have.
The plugs and wires didn't help, so we got a new ignition coil and crankshaft position sensor down in there.
And I got here, which is either good luck or bad luck. So let's find out. All right, fingers crossed, boys. That's more expected than I wish I could admit.
Yeah, we're not getting spark, we're not getting anything. So we've replaced pretty much every single thing we can replace. The last thing was the ECU. We got a new ECU. I don't think it's gonna work because the engine is from a 2000 Ford Focus, and they did weird things with programming, and you need the right key for the thing. You have to program it to the VIN, but we don't have a VIN.
If you could feel the vibe in this shop right now, it's in shambles. Why is it not getting spark? I wonder if this is the symptom of the interlock, like that it just lets you try.
I'm really regretting my trade decision at this point to trade a perfectly running, beautiful Audi for this. I certainly wouldn't have even thought about it if I knew we were going to get to this point of it not run. Like, it ran perfect twice.
More than that, we fired this up a bunch of times, and then as soon as we fired it up, tried to fire it up when we could do something with it, that's when it crapped the bed. So crazy frustrating. What happened? I have no idea.
Well, we don't know what we did, but technically it runs.
Yeah, I have no idea what we did. I started undoing the entire harness. That does confirm for me that I think this is more a harness issue than anything else. It's just kind of dry rotted, and there's a lot of spots that are potentially shorting out. So that's my only real honest guess. I will say it runs, so we should at least go give it a rip and see how it runs. Hopefully this will hold together long enough for a couple laps around the block. Maybe, I don't know.
So this whole time, this is day 3 of getting this thing to run. You want to know what it was?
The freaking key was too far away from the sensor picker-upper thing. This BS 2000s technology.
Unbelievable. Like, it was never far away from it. It just went from like touching to maybe a ½ inch away, and that's what the problem was.
Probably like $500 spent on sensors and other parts trying to chase it down, and the key was just this much too far away from the sensor.
But we got it working, and that's the important thing.
This is the reason to not trade your really nice cars for a piece of junk race cars. Don't do what I do.
You said that like there was only one reason to not do that. I think there's a lot more than that. While this thing's warming up, we got to put the body on it, and then we can finally drive this thing around the block.
So pumped. Oh my gosh, that was a roller coaster. There were some really sad moments there, but she drove out of the driveway. Let's throw the body on it and take it out in the streets.
It's not even that loud. You big baby.
Thank you.
Oh boy, this is it. It looks so good-ish. I'm so excited. It looks so cool. It sounds so good. I just hope it drives. The gear shifter is a piece of garbage. It doesn't go into gear at all. It's quite a piece of junk. Everything on it is very sketchy. We're driving an F1 car. Oh. I don't have brakes. None? I have 0 brakes.
Well, don't go too fast, I guess.
I guess. I don't want to go on that main street.
Okay.
I'll just turn around right here.
Cool. Kind of looks like an F1 car. Well, what do you feel like, an F1 driver?
It's about as scary as an F1 driver when you're going and you don't have brakes. It's almost impossible to get it into first gear. But when you get it into second, it freaking rips. It's so fun. This is going to be a heck of a toy.
Like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton?
I'm minimum Verstappen.
Gavin's up. We can't find reverse, so he's got a pusher.
How nervous should I be right now, Dylan?
You'll be fine. Just remember the no brakes thing.
Yeah.
And first, you really just gotta jam it all the way left and then all the way down. And it kind of clicks, but not really.
All right. Oh,
But
wow.
it turns really good.
This is legitimately This was a recklessly poor choice. I don't know how to feel right now.
Oh boys, this thing is gonna be so good. We just gotta get some brakes, some paint on her, and she'll be ripping. Thank you guys for watching. Stay rad.
It needs so much more than what you just mentioned.